perfect day, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, kings and queens, makosi na makosi guys, and to all my gender non-conforming people, hey guys, you're still tuned in on your greatest young show on land. Yes, I said it. This is your greatest young show on land, right here on Keith Ngesi Radio with myself, baby Obuhle Sihu. And in case you didn't know, now you should know that Keith Ngesi Radio is not your average radio station. This is radio beyond frequency, but most importantly, we are radio according to you. And you know, man, I'm never alone because the Bible says it's not good for men to be alone. Therefore, I too am not alone, man. I am with Bubele Nazo. How are you, man?
I'm good, thank you. I'm good. Great.
Are you good? Okay. Now the thing is, I'm not too sure if people can hear us. I'm gonna need them to confirm. So if you're watching now, please confirm whether or not you can hear him. Please say something. Please say something.
Oh, okay. Grateful to be here.
Okay.
Everyone can hear me clearly.
I can hear you. I don't know if they can hear you, but if you can't hear us, please let us know. Because technology will do things to you. We're learning here. We're improvising, doing things on the spot. Please unmute yourself. We'll just see. Yeah. Yeah, can't hear you. Yeah, your sister just said we can't hear him. Please try say something again.
Let me see now. Can you guys hear me now?
Can they hear you now? Are you guys good? I hope we're good because I can hear you. So what we don't do on the show is I don't introduce my guests because I don't want to say more and you look at me on some hi bro. I'm trying to be modest here. I'm literally trying to be humble. And I don't want to say too little and then you'll be on some hi, what about the numeracy award that I received in grade 1? Mention that, mention my accolades. So I'll just give you the chance to please introduce yourself for those who may not know you. Who is Bubele Nazo?
Okay. So first and foremost, always want to give gratitude. Gratitude is due. I have to be grateful to God for the gift of life. I have to be grateful to God for family, for friends, for business partners, and honestly for just putting people, places, and opportunities that are always aligning to the people that was becoming. For those of you who don't know, my name is Bubele Nazo. Born and bred in the Eastern Cape in a small town called Berlin. So I basically grew up here all my life. Went to Dell College. From Dell College, went to Rhodes University. And that's when I actually stumbled, into entrepreneurship, stumbled into, how, the system, was rigged, because I realized that what I came there to study wasn't actually what I wanted to, pursue in my life. So eventually what I did was I started hustling because of obviously my background. I don't come from a very wealthy family.
Yeah.
So I started entrepreneurship, started, hustling, making a side back, so that I could sustain myself and, the varsity experience. And then, from there, I developed a hunger for money. I developed, wanting to know how to make money, how to multiply.
Money. You sound like an entrepreneur.
How to multiply money, grow money, stock market money, work for me. And then, finished at Rhodes University, came back. And then that's when, I was like, you know what? I've made a decision. I've never worked a day in my life. So I was like, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to, try and, build my own empire. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to find opportunities and, make sure that, because my dream was, I never wanted to, because we come from a system where in order for us to be successful, we need to do things a certain way. We need to go to school, get good grades, go to varsity, get even better grades, and then go to, go beg someone, to hire you and then work the 40-40-40 plan, working 40 hours a week for 40 years of your life to only retire 40% of your income. So I was like, and I could see how that, was happening in my own household. My father was working 9 to 5. So I was like, I definitely do not want to be in those same shoes. I don't want to, wait till I'm 60 in order for me to start making waves. I don't want to wait till I'm 60 in order for me to start living the life that I envision myself. I want to do that now whilst I'm still young, whilst I still have the energy. So that was honestly my motivation. And, after I came back, I was like, you know what, I'm going to make this work. I don't know how. And I always tell people, and I say that you don't have to know the how. As long as you know why you want to do something, the how is going to, just eventually, manifest itself, through the action, and then I remember back in 2019, at my lowest because, I'm done now, I'm at home, I'm not working and I'm trying this hustle, and I'm very thankful, for my parents also, because, they're very supportive, and I feel like that's what, gave me that driving force to continue because, some parents are like, yeah, go get a job, go work, you've been here, nothing's working. So my parents are very supportive.
Especially black parents.
Exactly, because they come from that system where in order for my son or my daughter to be successful, they need to be working a 9 to 5. They need to go do this, do that, because that's what they were told and their generations were told and so on and so forth. So I had to break that, I had to break generational curses. I had to make it work, so I was like, I'm going to make this work. And my parents were like backing me. And I remember back in 2019, I stumbled upon cryptocurrencies for the first time. And at that point, I was desperate. I was getting a bit depressed, stressed because nothing was working for me. But honestly, also another thing that kept me going was the fact that I knew that eventually I'm going to open a door that's going to change my life. Because I was bumping off the door, people said no, and I was like, you know what? I know eventually God has something planned for me. And the reason why these institutes and all these people said no was because they weren't meant for me. What was meant for me was eventually coming my way. Eventually, I just had to be patient. So, and 2019, I stumbled upon cryptocurrencies, and I always tell the story, I say that that's when my life changed. 2020, no income place, but I made a lot of money. And then, I was like, okay, if I at this age can, accomplish this, how many other people can I put in a position to win? How many other people, could do exactly what it is that I'm doing? So that's when I started traveling. I've been all over the country, been to over, I think, 8 or 9 different provinces. I've been to over 70 different towns. And all I do is I just, help people through, understanding financial literacy, understanding that there's more to, success, and there's more to life than just working the 9 to 5. There's more to life, especially us as the generation. We are living in the best time for people to become millionaires right now. Like, there will never be a better time in currently than the time that we
to be a millionaire,
to be financially free. As long as you have, the internet and Wi-Fi connection, you're done. And that's literally what I try and explain to people. I just break down, how people can actually start investing, how people can actually start becoming digital entrepreneurs and start making money in the internet space, the digital era space. And that's, where I am right now. I'm stumbled up. Now I'm doing a lot of things now. I'm a model for an agency up in Johannesburg. I'm also, a clothing collector. I've got my own clothing collection. I'm collection. I'm a fashion designer. Apart from that, I'm also a trader. I'm a crypto enthusiast. Because crypto changed my life. So I'm definitely, you have to want to know how you're making this money. Because it's one thing. I always tell people, I say that it's one thing to make money, but it's another to know how. Because I always tell people, I say that success is not monetary, it's not materialistic, it's not based on what you have, it's based on what you know. Because the money, it comes and it goes. But if you have the information, you always know how to go out there and build, from scratch again. So that's why I always focus on the information and the value.
I need to throw this in. Hey, imagine I would have just said, this guy is a mentor, crypto enthusiast, and all of those things. And bro, I'm still mind blown. That was just the introduction. You keep mentioning how you stumbled into cryptocurrency. And when you talk about stumbling, when I'm thinking you tripped and fell. Was that the case?
Honestly, it's funny how it all worked out, because I had just made a decision, because like I said, after I came back and things weren't starting to work for me, I started to get depressed, started to hang around the wrong people, and I started to do all the wrong things. And and there's and I always talk about the power of the decision, because that's literally what changed my life, and I always share about experiences. I just woke up one day and I was like, you know what? I'm done with everything that I was doing. I'm done associating myself with the people. I'm done going to the same places. Doing all the wrong things. And I'm gonna just make a decision. I don't know what I'm gonna do or how it's gonna work out, but I know that eventually something's gonna work out. And then a couple of days later, and this is the power of the decision. And I always tell people, once you make the decision, comes everything else, which is the people, the places, and opportunities. Literally, after a couple of days after I made the decision, I stumbled upon I think it was God's doing, but I stumbled upon a flyer, a poster, which introduced me to a Bitcoin seminar. It was like, listen, if you want to know how to build wealth online, Saturday we've got this. And I was like, I've got nothing else to lose. Why not give this a try? And I went there, and I remember I sat in the back of the room and I listened to the individual, and what caught me was the story, from where he came and where he is right now. And I was like, you know what? If it could happen for that guy, it could definitely happen for me. So I immediately after that, I was like, listen, I don't know how I'm going to get started with this opportunity. I don't know how I'm going to make this work, but this is what I want to do. I want to dedicate my full time and attention into this. And literally after that, I made the move. I made the decision. I was like, I'm moving, because that guy was from PE. That was my first mentor back in 2020. I moved to PE, and then I started learning, because I always tell people, and I say that in order for you to get to a certain level, you have to listen to people who have the results.
I was about to ask, did your mentality and how you saw things at the time really help you in making that decision? Because a lot of people just say, hey, man, it was an opportunity. I went for it. I didn't have to have a positive mindset. How important was your mindset?
honestly, it was very important, especially at that time, because I had already made the decision, so I was already looking for the next best thing, so, coming into that, I was like, okay, listen, this has to be it. So my vibration and my frequency was vibrating at the same level for that opportunity, and, I was attracted to the energy of the individual as well. So I was like, okay, listen, this is exactly where I see myself. This is, where I envision myself, what I do, with, these type of individuals.
Yeah.
So definitely at that time, if I was in another mindset, I probably would have just looked at the opportunity and was like, nah, this is not for me. But it was because of the mindset that I already, instilled through the decision that I made, that listen, I'm gonna make something work out of myself. I'm gonna create something. I don't know what or when or how, but eventually I'm gonna do it. And then that's when everything started, to align, and I started meeting the right people, the right places, and the right opportunities.
Oh, that's beautiful, man. It sounds beautiful, but I'm sure it's not as easy as you make it sound, because a lot of people, when you talk about cryptocurrency, it's easy. It's just making money online. You don't need much Wi-Fi and a device or 2 devices, and it's just simple. You'll make that money. Is it that easy, really, as it sounds? Because right now I'm thinking, this guy just wakes up, goes on the internet, says www. this and that, gets on the site, makes money.
Honestly, it's not easy. And I always tell people to say that nothing is easy. It's not easy. It's not hard. It's simple. Why is it simple? It's simple because there is always someone who has done it, and they will be able to share how they've been able to do it. So there is a blueprint. So all you need to do is you need to have a lot of patience, discipline, and consistency, because you have to understand that success is not an overnight thing. A lot of people also, they tend to make the mistake of seeing, people with these flashy lifestyles talk about crypto, and they think that that's when they started. They woke up, they invested in crypto, and then the next day they become millionaires. They don't see the work, understanding and learning about crypto, understanding and learning, about digital entrepreneurship, because it's first about the information. Without the information, you're not going to know what you're going to do. You're going to go in blind, and you're not going to understand, when certain things happen in the market. And that's exactly what I did at first. I was like, listen, I know the money is always going to be a byproduct of a person who's becoming. So I was like, I'm going to focus on the information. I'm going to focus on what these individuals do, because I know that if I start doing exactly what it is that they do, I'm going to then get the results.
Oh, that's good. That is really good. Listen, a lot of people have this misconception that cryptocurrency is a fraud. Like, if you ask black people, don't even tell me about that. What do you mean? Are you trying to scam me? And the people that we know who are into cryptocurrency are always overseas. They're not from here. So it's always beautiful to see that actually there's someone who looks like us, who just grew up like us, and who understands our way of living, and he's making a killing out of this. Please explain for the people who don't understand what crypto is, and who think it's just a scam, Herbalife scam, or it's a fraud. What is it?
Okay, awesome. And that's very true. I mean, we come from a community that is, very strict when it comes to culture, very strict when it comes to, the normal or what has been instilled from generations to generations. And they're so comfortable in that way that when something new comes in, they get hot, and they get very rigid, and they don't want to change.
They're just skeptical because you don't know whether to trust this. Is it really true? Because we're not used to that idea.
That's true. But I mean, I always tell people to say that times are always changing. If you are not adapting, you're dying. And that's a very important thing for people to understand, because the world is going digital, and that's the first thing. That's the core behind cryptocurrencies. The fact that they're digital currencies. They are currencies. It's money. It's like any other currency. For example, when I'm talking about the rand, when I'm talking about the dollar, so a lot of people, they get scammed because they lack the information. They don't understand. So I always tell people to say that just like you don't join Bitcoin, you don't join the rand. I mean, you don't join Bitcoin. This is not something you join. This is a currency that I can transact in, which means that anything I can buy, with my dollar, anything I can buy with my rands, I can actually purchase with my Bitcoins. But what makes Bitcoin so special is the fact that it's also commodity. Now, commodity is simply, something that people can buy or sell. For example, if I have rands in my pocket, I can't sell those rands to someone else. Or I can't go out there and buy South African rands. I can only use my currency to go buy and sell something else with. Right? So Bitcoin, on the other hand, if I don't have Bitcoins, I can actually go purchase Bitcoins and be in possession of them. And then when I'm in possession of Bitcoins, I can then sell my currencies. And then the last thing that makes crypto so special is the fact that it's an asset. It's a liquid asset. Now, I always tell people, I say that we've got your normal digital assets, your normal tangible assets, land and buildings, vehicles, all of those. But now we also have the digital realm, which is your digital currencies. Now, an asset is just simply something that generates income for you and grows in value over time. For example, if you buy a house now worth $250,000, 5 years from now, that house might be worth $500,000. But now the power of Bitcoin is the fact that it's digital and it's liquid. Because if I want to sell a house, a lot of process needs to go into that. I need to find someone who I'm going to sell this house to. I need to go into even, identifying or, hiring a real estate agent to actually sell the house for me. And they're going to get a couple of commissions from me. And that might take time. That might take five months, 10 months, who knows, right? But when it comes to crypto, right, if I want to liquidate it, if I want money now, then all I need to do is just sell my currencies back into the market, and boom, just like that, I'm good. And that's the power of crypto, is that it's very liquid. And I always tell people to say that if you're an entrepreneur, if you're business minded, it's very important for you to have digital currencies, because when an opportunity presents itself, you need to always have liquid cash to capitalize on such opportunities. So when you have digital assets like crypto, it becomes very beneficial. You're about to enter into a deal, and you need some liquid cash. You can always depend on it to make sure that you are always ahead of the curve.
Ooh. That is a lot to take in. And that's what I think about crypto, just generally. Like, this is a lot to take in, but when you explain it, I start to understand it. But what I don't get is, because when you look at it, you see a lot of graphs, and you're like, economics. Hey, but I didn't go to school, nah. I didn't even do economics in school. Do I need some type of training to get into that, or can I just start without the training? Because when you look at it, it's complicated. I don't want to lie. You see a lot of graphs and you're like, which one is this one? Is this a map? South Africa, where are you? What's going on? How do I get into it practically? Do I need to, like I said, get training for it, or I can just learn off YouTube or something?
Well, honestly, first and foremost, I always tell people, I say, when it comes to I don't like people using YouTube. Because a lot of people, they like, thinking that things, going to come for free. They think that, the YouTube is going to give you all the information. Yes, it will give you the information, but you need mentorship. And that's what, helped me, get to this level was, because when I try and do it myself, everyone always goes out there and says, I want to be a self-made millionaire, I want to be a self-made, this and that. They have to understand that comes with a lot of, losses, because you're trying to stumble upon, all of this on your own. But when you have mentorship, mentorship is the easiest way to success. Because they're going to be able to tell you what to do, what to look out for. And I always tell people to say, in order for you to learn something, you don't have to know, because you're coming there to learn. So you just have to come here with an open mind to say to yourself, listen, I want to learn more about this, and I want to get started. And in order for you to really understand it, you have to get started. So you don't have to have any prior background, any prior experience, any prior knowledge. You just have to come here with the willingness to learn, a willingness to grow, a willingness to understand exactly what is happening. And from there, that's when you're going to start, soaking up all the information. And nothing beats experience. The only way to truly know something is by doing it.
That is it. Nothing beats experience. And the only way
to do something, the only way to know something is to do it.
Is to actually do it. Get started. That's what you always say in your skill. Like, hey, this guy, get started. It doesn't matter, just start. You'll figure it along the way. The risks.
Okay.
Because when we talk about it, it's so nice. It sounds good, but there must be risks, man. Because you hear a lot of people who say, I lost money. And that's why people are skeptical about it, because a lot of people are losing money out of this. Someone says, I had to sell my house, I had to sell my car because I lost money trying to trade and this and this. So what are some of the risks that one needs to be aware of when getting into crypto?
I think the first big risk is lack of information. Because a lot of people, they think that they're losing in the crypto space when they don't even understand what the crypto space is actually there for. Because, like any other market, like any other thing, what goes up must come down. What comes down must go up. So, a lot of people, for example, they might buy currency at its highest, and then what happens is that the currency, gets a pullback. Now they think that they're losing money instead of, being patient and waiting for the market to push up again. So that's because of lack of information. Now people actually start selling. A lot of people, start to panic. So honestly, you just have to be confident in the information and focus on exactly understanding what it is that you're getting yourself into business. You understand that everything else is going to become simple. You're going to become confident in exactly what it is that you're doing. The other risk I always tell people when it comes to crypto, it's self-inflicted. Because when you're transacting with crypto, the only risk is that it's not like your banks. For example, if I was to send you money now, bank to bank, if I make a mistake, I can just cancel and reverse that transaction. Crypto is a one-way stream because it's a peer-to-peer person. There's no third party. There's no banks, there's no middle person. So if I send you crypto now and I'll make a mistake, and you're going to give me your wallet address, right? So that's like your account number. So if I make a mistake, instead of a Zeta, I put a 7, and I send those crypto to someone else, somebody's gone. There's no way of retrieving that. And also, it's untraceable, which is a lot of where a lot of people get skeptical, because you can't really trace who you're sending this money to, if they actually received it, and all of that, which is actually a positive if you think about it. On my side, because that means that I could send money anywhere in the world, at any time, to anyone. And I know that my money is safe. It's going to move directly from me to the next individual.
Yeah.
So the main risk, honestly, is lack of information. Because a lot of people, they jump into companies, or they meet people who say, listen, give me 3,000 and I'll give you 10,000, say they want to invest in cryptocurrencies, and they don't even know what crypto is, and they give their money away, and then what happens is that they never find out that person. Or they jump into these companies where they promise these big returns, and they're like, okay, I'm going to put my money into that, but they didn't even give themselves enough time to educate themselves about what it is they put their money into. It's very, if you're going to put your money, I always tell people to say that we are investors first, and the most important thing when you're investing money is to know that you're investing money in fertile soil. When I put my money here,
it needs to grow.
It needs to grow.
Yeah.
And what information do I have that it actually is going to grow? A lot of people, they want it quick and easy. Give me your money, I'll go work for you. I'll multiply it. Okay, sure, do that. Boom. A couple of weeks back, I got scammed in crypto. And it's not crypto, it's the individual.
Yeah.
And those certain individuals are the ones who are dragging down the name of crypto.
One of the things I love about you is your mindset and your attitude. When you walked in here, I was panicking, I was just frustrated, going through some things, and you just calmed me down. And you're like, hey, you need to calm down. You need to understand that everything happens for a reason. You need to change the way you're thinking, the way you're responding to the circumstance, the situation that is at hand. And I think listening to what you said throughout has just shown me that your mindset has helped you a lot in how you go on about your business and just maneuvering through the things that you do. Share with us, just share your daily habits.
Okay.
Some of the things that you get you that mindset and to help you keep going.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm very big when it comes to personal development. So, for example, in the morning, every time I wake up, personal development and prayer. Because every time I say, or every time I jump on calls, interviews, meetings, I always first get gratitude. Where gratitude is human, and that's gratitude to God. Because the reason why I'm even here, living the life that I'm living, having the impact that I've had is because of Him. Because everything happens for a reason. So I have to be grateful for everything, and also have a high wavering, belief level. But one of the things I always do, I wake up and I pray. I pray before I go to bed. I pray at night, and I just give gratitude for the life that I'm living. Family, friends, the impact. The people. And I give gratitude for the day ahead. I'm always thankful for a new day, because new day, brings new blessings, new opportunities, a new chance to go out there and change your life. And another thing I'm very big on is personal development. In my spare time, because I always tell people, a lot of people they see me traveling and they're like, "Yo, you're always with people," and I'm like, dude. 90% of the time, I'm by myself. When I'm traveling, I'm by myself.
Wait, is that true though?
90% of the time, I'm literally by myself.
Yeah.
Because you are your biggest asset. And the 10% when I'm actually in front of people, I need to, pour what I've been working on the 90% of the time. So what am I doing? I'm listening to a lot of personal development. I'm listening to people who have the results. I'm learning. And that always puts me in a good mindset, in a good state. Just feeding the brain. Because I like listening to people like Jim Rohn. I like listening to people like Bob Proctor. May his soul rest in peace. People who touch on belief. People who touch on working on yourself. Becoming a leader. The impact. That E.T. Eric Thomas, the number one motivational guy. Those are people who on a daily basis. Because you have to understand that success is 90% spiritual and 10% skill. So 90% is what you see, what you listen to, where you hang around, the people you speak to. That is what shapes or makes or breaks you. So I'm always listening to positivity. I'm always listening to the right, things, because that is the energy that I'm going to give out as well to the universe. And the universe always responds. What you give out is what you're going to give in.
Also, you're very passionate about just empowering young people and encouraging them and mentoring young people into being the best versions of themselves and trying. you want to encourage them to do something positive with their life. Talk to them. They're listening. What would you say to them?
Okay, awesome. Well, first and foremost, I'd say to them that, you know, the system is rigged. Honestly speaking, I'm not talking down on the employment. I'm not talking down, on, the education system. I'm just talking up on opportunities. We're young right now. We're living in the most blessed time period to ever exist in mankind, to be successful, to go out there and really, make our dreams come alive. And, all we need is information. All we need is, people who have done exactly what it is that, we want to do, because I always tell people to say that mentorship is the shortest way to success. And if you really want to do something, you want to go out there and you want to start now. Don't wait, for, the perfect time. There is no such thing as a perfect time. The time is now, and then you start working on whatever it is that you have right now, because God has blessed you with the gift of life. And a day above ground is a day for you to be grateful, because that's another chance for you to go out there and chase exactly what it is that you want to achieve. The information is out there. I always tell people to say that everything you need in order for you to achieve what it is that you want to achieve is already out there. You just have to know where to look for it. As simple as that. Whatever it is that you want to accomplish in life, it's already out there. You just have to shift your paradigm. You just have to shift your mindset and know where to look for it.
I like that. I like that. Thank you so much for coming through. Time is not on our side, so we have to cut this short. Where can people catch you on social media?
I'm all over. I'm on Instagram at Leiden_Bubele Nazo. Facebook, Bubele Nazo. Also on YouTube. I share a lot of content actually on YouTube, when it comes to the trading, when it comes to personal development, when it comes to, everything, my travels.
So you can subscribe.
So people can actually subscribe on my YouTube channel, Bubele Nazo. Get some value there. I'm also available on the cell for anyone, who would, want, to get in touch, reach out, learn what it is that I do, how I do it, and how I've been able to, build what I've been able to build in a very short space of time.
Ooh, girls, are you listening? Bubele Nazo on all social media platforms. Are you checking this out? Thank you once again for coming through, man. Really appreciate it.